The Premier League weekend for match day one officially comes to an end. Yes, the Premier League weekend for match day one officially comes to an end, and there were some crazy, crazy games for match day one in the Premier League. This is why we call the Premier League the best league in the world. It all started Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Liverpool were leading 2-0 due to Hugo Ekitike's goal and Cody Gakpo's goal. Then now, Bournemouth equalized 2-2. Brace from Antoine Semenyo, and who was racially abused, and that is not what Liverpool fans do. We don't racially abuse player. We are with you, Antoine Semenyo. You never walk alone. What a performance from him, by the way. Kiza came off the bench to make it 3-2, and Mo Salah scoring on the opening day again to make it 4-2. He has scored 10 times on the opening day of the Premier League. It moved on to Saturday. Early kickoff. Newcastle versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa got a red card. It was a boring game, I won't lie. And Newcastle need Alexandra Isak. Newcastle desperately need Alexandra Isak, but it ended in a nil-nil draw. Tottenham versus Bondi. Richarlison took me back to the 2022 World Cup when he scored an overhead kick against Serbia. When he scored overhead kick against Serbia in the 2022 World Cup. And you see that link up between Mohamed Kudus and Richarlison. That link up is going to be absolutely top notch. Mohamed Kudus getting 2 assists, Richarlison getting 2 assists, and Bernard Johnson sealing the deal. It moved on to Sunderland back in the Premier League after 8 years. They After 8 years, they came back to the Premier League, and their first game back in the Premier League, they absolutely eased past West Ham 3 goals to nil. What a performance from Sunderland! They have invested in this transfer market, and I'm sure that Sunderland will stay up in the Premier League, and I'm very very sure that Sunderland will stay up in the Premier League because the investment they have made. Granit Xhaka, Simon and Dingra. More players as well came to Sunderland. 3-0, it ended that game. So, move on to the next game, which was um Manchester City versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, where Erling Haaland got a brace. The robot is back getting a brace today. 4-0. 4-0 it ended. Reinders. What a performance from Reinders. Manchester City have absolutely bowled out. They have absolutely bowled out without Tijani Reinders signing. The architect of the first goal and scoring the second goal as well for Manchester City. Sheki also getting his first goal for Manchester City as well. Erling Haaland getting a brace. And before I forget, Brighton and Fulham played and it ended 1-1. I don't have much details on that match. It moved on to Sunday. Arsenal versus Manchester United, the big game. But before we move on to that, Chelsea also played Crystal Palace, which ended in a nil-nil. Chelsea fans were saying they are world champions. They are world champions. World champions cannot beat Crystal Palace, right? Crystal Palace are very, very hard. They are very, very hard. But yeah, Eberechi's Eze's free kick was also disallowed due to McGee and Caicedo rumbling in that Chelsea wall. But yeah, it ended nil-nil. I was a little bit disappointed with Chelsea because I was expecting them to win, even though it was 2 goals to 1, because I predicted 2 goals to 1. But yeah, it moved on. Nottingham Forest versus Brentford, and Nottingham Forest are back. They picked off where they left off last season. I think Nottingham Forest, they are planning to finish in that European spot again because they finished seventh, which took them to the Conference League. They finished seventh. I think they're planning to finish seventh again or in any European spot. Chris Wood is back, scoring a brace today as Nottingham Forest defeated Brentford 3 goals to 1. Now the big game, Manchester United versus Arsenal. Ricardo Calafiori got the only goal at Old Trafford as Arsenal saw off Manchester United 1 goal to 0. That Arsenal defense is so strong. Arsenal have the best defense in the Premier League by far. Just look at the pressure Manchester United were putting on Arsenal in that second half. Manchester United were pressuring Arsenal in that second half. Matheus Cunha, by the way, was absolutely fantastic today for Manchester United. What a cameo, man. The way the skill he was doing today on the pitch was fantastic. What a cameo Matheus Cunha is. Brian Mbeumo was also very, very good today for Manchester United. But this is one thing about Arsenal. Anytime they score a goal, they want to defend, sit back, you can give them all the pressure you want. But yeah, I think Manchester United at least deserve the point in that match. But Arsenal do what Arsenal do best, holding teams in defense. Yes, so that wraps up the Premier League weekend. Yes, make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. That wraps up the Premier League weekend. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment your thoughts as well. Thank you very much.